Hi there guys, welcome back to another Memory Keeping Monday. This is Shannon Tidwell, Garden Girl at 2 Peas in a Bucket. And this month we are talking about pattern papers, one of my very favorite things ever. I think you can pretty much scrapbook with just pattern paper, but since we have so many other goodies, we're not going to do that today, but we are going to use a lot of different pattern papers. And what I wanted to do today is show you how to use some pattern papers that have the same basic design and put them together. It's a really easy way to mix different pattern papers together with a fun look, but you really don't have to do much thinking to put them together. So what I'm doing today, I'm using all chevron patterns on my page, and you can see that I've got a good assortment here, some scraps that are just some barely left over, like this one from October Afternoon, one of my very favorites with the red, and then there's several, KI, Echo Park, Bella Boulevard, Amy Tangerine. Let's see, this one's My Mind's Eye, another KI. This one's Amy Tangerine Sketchbook. This one is My Mind's Eye, Echo Park, and this one's Dear Lizzie. And then, so I've got a good mixture of a lot of different manufacturers, but you can see that they're all different colors, and different sizes. Some are different, some are distressed, some are solid lines. So it's just a big mixture of the pattern, but since it's the same pattern, they all automatically kind of go together without really having to think about it. This technique is something that you could change and do with a different type of pattern, maybe stripes or polka dots. You know, a basic pattern, you don't want anything that's going to be too busy like a floral that has too many colors in it, but since these are primarily just two-tone, two-color patterns, they mix well with others that have a few other colors in it. So that keeps it kind of different, and that keeps them mixing together well, since I've got some tiny and some large, and some with multicolors and some just two-tone colors. So that helps them all mesh together and not be too, if I had all patterns that had, you know, 4 colors like this, then it would be too overwhelming and too much. But they mix well together with others that are a little less busy. So you could use this same concept with stripes, because you could use some larger stripes and then some tiny stripes, and maybe just mix in 1 or 2 that have multicolored stripes. And then you would be able to kind of have this same concept with striped paper. The same thing with polka dots. You could do some with tiny little polka dots, some with large polka dots, some multicolor, and once you mix them all together, you'd have a really cool mix of pattern papers together. So we're going to go ahead and do this with the chevron papers, and I've gotten started a little bit, just kind of trying to get a basic idea about what I want to do. And an easy way to mix these papers together, I decided, was to put them inside frames. And so what I did is I've just kind of looked through my stash of chipboard and stickers and different things that I have, and found frames of different shapes and sizes. You can see these are ovals, this is a circle, this is like a Polaroid frame shape, this ruler angle master shape here. I'm just kind of mixing it up a little bit, and what I plan on doing once I get these adhered down and kind of figure out my background, what I'm going to do is add some embellishments and just kind of keep adding. I've got this basic design, and that's where I'm going to start with, and then I'm just going to kind of keep adding things in until I decide that it's finished. So you can see that by separating these patterns into their own little compartment, it helps, you know, keep everything contained without being too busy, and keeps them separated from each other, and it really gives it a kind of a fun look. That's where I'm going to get started, and we'll see how this layout comes together. I think I'm finished with this layout. As you can see, I kind of just kept adding and adding a lot of different embellishments into my little compartments until I felt like it was full. And I'm just going to kind of go around the page and show you, talk about what I did that you guys saw in the video. So here I started with my photo here, and then I built around it with these different frames filled with the pattern paper. So once I got that done and I decided just to start filling in my little frames with embellishments. And I kind of went a little embellishment crazy on this layout, but it was a lot of fun to do to help tie everything together along with the different chevron patterns, which kind of helps tie everything together. I also decided to use these little wooden embellishments that are by Studio Calico in each of the different frames. That helps everything kind of have a common look around the page, I guess, and helps it all flow together. You can see that I just layered together 2 tags. These were by the Hello Forever line that's new at 2-piece. And then I did a little stitching here and added in a wooden heart by Studio Calico. So on this one is where I decided to go ahead and put my title. This is American Crafts letter stickers here, one of my favorite fonts right now. I seem to be using it a lot. And then I added in the last word of the title here on a chipboard banner flag, and then added in the wooden Studio Calico little embellishment. This little hanger here is by Maya Road. It's a little, I guess you could use it as a paper clip, but I felt like it went with the theme of the layout since it was a photo shoot, changing clothes a lot. I kind of thought it was a cute little embellishment to go with the page. To get it to hang on my letter flatly, I just bent the top of the hanger a little bit, and that way it kind of hooks on the O, and then I added a little dab of glue to help hold it in place there. And then this is a pin here that I just wrapped with some Bella Boulevard tape and stuck it up there because I felt like I needed something up in that area. So down here on my little ruler here, I have the chevron background, and this is a chipboard embellishment here. These little flags right here were actually cut from a Heidi Swapp banner like this. I just cut a couple of them apart and then adhered them in behind there and then added in this little wooden arrow. So then over here on this one, I have another chipboard frame. This one is kind of shaped like a Polaroid frame. I added in the Happy Day, another chipboard piece, just to add a little dimension. And then I use this place for my journaling. I use one of these circle tags here. I cut it so it have a flat edge, and that way it kind of fit in there well and had a little bit of a room to add some little wooden embellishments there. You can see the arrows. So then up here on this cute little oval frame, it's backed with the chevron pattern paper, of course, and then I added in this beautiful smile sticker here and the little girl wooden shape I thought was cute. And then there's just another chipboard shape here that I added in. I thought it was kind of neat. I liked the colors together. So, and then we have here on the picture in the middle, I have a chipboard flag shape here. I cut a little chevron label sticker in half and then used that as little tails to stick out behind that chipboard shape. And I used this place to put her initials. I thought the sparkly letter stickers looked cute there with her initials, so I thought that was a fun little place to add it. And then down here I have a fabric tag. This is by Amy Tangerine, her sketchbook line, and I just put in a little tiny attacher staple right there just to give it a little texture and a little interest to that spot right there. So then around the edge, I couldn't decide on this page whether to do a border all the way around or to stitch around it or what to do. But I finally ended up deciding, I cut this strip of a pattern paper here. It's a chevron multicolor paper, and I just cut a little tiny strip of it and put it over here on the left hand side and added in a little stitching here where I put this little sticker with the number 12 on it from, that's from the Dear Lizzie little sticker booklet here. And let's see what else. Oh, and then up here at the top I have a card that has the number 12 written on it, and I believe this is by Elle Studio. It comes in a package with a bunch of different cards with different numbers on it, and I thought the 12, you know, to go along with the graduating 2012 theme, the senior photo shoot, all that. I just thought it was a fun little addition, and I just kind of wanted something sticking up off the page up there. So I adhered it to the back and then added in some machine stitching and then glued on a little arrow there in that empty spot. About sums up this layout, and you can see here that I have 7 different pattern papers on this one layout, and it doesn't seem too overwhelming. I was still able to get a lot of different embellishments on here, even though I have a lot of pattern paper as well, because I kept the pattern papers in their own little areas and kind of used them as embellishments on the page. Okay, so your challenge this week is to put together a layout using one pattern, whether it's going to be chevron, polka dots, stripes, maybe stars, even a basic floral pattern could work. And grab papers that are from different manufacturers, different colors, different size patterns, whatever, but the same general pattern, and mix those together on your page and see how many you can use on one page, whether or not you do it like I did and kind of use just smaller amounts of them, or you could go bigger and use larger amounts. One thing I thought about doing was doing a background of different chevron patterns, maybe just using them in strips and maybe doing a little stitching in between and kind of making my own background pattern paper out of a mixture of different chevron patterns. So you could do something like that with any of those different patterns. You could use them maybe in your title, cut your letters out of each different pattern and make a real fun, busy title. That would be neat. There are all kinds of options. Maybe cut them up in little pieces and use them as a frame around your page. So there's a million different options, but I just want to see you mix together some pattern papers that have the same pattern, that are different colors, different sizes, from different manufacturers, and see what you can come up with. So thanks a lot for joining me for this Memory Keeping Monday. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this layout come together. So I hope you will make a page like mine with just one pattern, but 7 different pattern papers. Thanks a lot. Have a great week. Bye.